I'm enjoying every minute of this sideline extravaganza.
Rugby Stadium. This is a very significant day for both Sydney University and Randwick, and in the context of the game and its growth going into the new millennium, because this could well be the last major rugby match played at this ground, which was created as the new home of rugby back in the 80s. It had a memorable semi-final in the 87 World Cup played here. It's had test matches, and it is a superb venue, but it looks like it's going to be permanently superseded by the Sydney Football Stadium and the Olympic Stadium. So lots of colour out in the crowd, and there are the Randwick boys. Jeff Sale, a prominent figure in the Randwick club. What a magnificent club the Randwick are. They're the club champions again this year for the 31st time. They've won 30 first-grade premierships in their history. So too have Sydney University, even though they haven't actually won a premiership since 1972 and haven't played against Randwick in a grand final since 1962. They've really come of age in the last couple of years with the changing circumstances on the campus in relation to offering scholarships and encouraging people to come to the university. And that commercial flavour has given university the opportunity to rebuild and to give them a chance again, as we saw last year, of playing in the major event of the competition. The lower grades today, Parramatta, with Andrew Leeds and some of his old mates from first grade, they couldn't do the job. Gordon won it. Randwick took out the third grade in a close finish, and it was Manly all over Randwick in reserve grade. And we've had a couple of presentations a few moments ago to the Eastern Suburbs Club, who won the minor premiership and the Roden Cutler Shield. But it's University who all eyes are on as we get ready for the kick-off here. University, having been beaten by Eastwood last year, and that dramatic victory over Eastern Suburbs last week by just 2 points. A very powerful, disciplined pack of forwards. David Fitter, after getting a clonk in his eye from Phil Tyler last week, has recovered. And a good set of forwards there with the back line that probably doesn't have the creativity of some others, but a wonderful 5'8". Brett Papworth, who kicked them to a win last week.
He's very, very calm and collected. A wonderful boot. He'll kick them out of trouble. And if it's a stop-start affair, then he will be in a perfect position to get Sydney University round the park. They'll know what it felt like to lose a grand final. Heartbreaking last season. They'll be looking to go one better, and they'll know what it's all about today.
So University having their little bonding session before the start. Stu Pinkerton, one of a number of Super 12 players ahead of Warwick War. Brendan Williams there coming out. This Randwick side, which has improved so much this year. They lost their first 2 matches of the season, and they haven't lost since. Although they were a little giddy last Sunday, and they didn't really hit their straps until the second half. It didn't put a great 80-minute game together, but look at that. War and Hassanein in the second row. A very, very mobile pack of forwards. They get those rolling mauls going at their opponents, and they can chew them up with Whitaker and Warner, and a lot of pace out there in the back line. Holbeck coming back late in the season after an injury. Great finishes there. Pritchard's had a record-breaking season. Willie Gordon on the wing, and Williams from broken play, a very dangerous runner. Omar Hassanein, of Egyptian background, has made a quick rise in rugby union ranks after looking as though he might be a league player earlier in his career. And Stu Pinkerton, of course, is the driving force at the back. Wayne Erickson, who had a controversial game last week. 34 penalties given in the game, but he's recognised as the #1 referee. And let's hope that he can have a cool afternoon with lots of advantage play. Stand by for the national anthem with the Sydney Philharmonia Orchestra and Choir. So all in readiness for this fabulous occasion to wrap up the New South Wales Club Rugby Premiership.
That was better than Bardo too, wasn't it, eh? Great rendition.
Good voices. Held their notes beautifully. Malone to kick off. And the tricky angle with Inman coming through. Just a fraction deeper on Holbeck, and they may have got the line out, but they'll get it anyway. No, they won't. Not from that kickoff. Down there from Jepson. Carter linking up well with Griffin. It's a good start for University here. They got the ball back after the kickoff, and they've got a flow of possession. Phil Wars caught. Little stab kick by Malone towards touch, and Brendan Williams has to cover it. So excellent start from Uni. A diversionary tactic at the kickoff, and then they got the possession.
Here it is.
A well-rehearsed, well-orchestrated move from the kickoff.
Let's keep the step, keep the
They've
gap,
started
please.
well.
And they've got the line-out ball. And there's the prominent figure of Vickerman. Oh, there was a fumble in the line-out.
Let his head go. There you go, get it out.
They've pinched it, Randwick.
Back feed, Blue.
And it looked certain that Vickerman would secure possession. As it is, it'll be another University line-out.
Just a late shoulder on the previous one.
Well, he's been terrific, hasn't he, Vickerman?
Hit the deck, leave him alone, eh?
All season.
Yep.
And they've
Stewie,
lost their first.
That's gotcha.
That puts a bit
Let's
of
get the
pressure
gap,
on
please.
the University line-out. The thrower, Brendan Cannon, and the jumpers.
He's caught it, stay there.
Yeah, they've gone with Drew Hickey the second time, and out in the back line. Oh, man, coming in. Carter. Carter for the corner. He scores! A bolt from the blue. And Carter, who had such a magnificent game against Eastwood 5 weeks ago and looked a little bit short of a gallop last week on a couple of occasions, has loomed up with some space created very quickly by University. Watch the delivery here. A good, quick pass from Malone, and out in the centres, Hinshelwood getting it on for a run for Carter in the hole, wide of Williams, who couldn't cover him, and that's a magnificent start for Sydney University.
Fabulous pick-up, Malone. Through the cutout pass. Hinshelwood threw another in a huge hole, Carter. And momentum. Bit of pace. Williams, no chance.
Oh, Brett, they've started extremely well, University. Plenty of options. Lovely to score tries off set phase. And Carter, Jim said he looked struggling last week. Well, there's nothing stopping him today. Williams misjudged the pace at which he was going, and a great start for the students.
I think we all misjudged the pace. He really did have the hammer down, didn't he?
That was extraordinary. He really looked as though he had a bad twinge there last week. A couple of times he looked slow to the ball, but he loomed up there into that space. And it was a thrilling University try. So is it going to be a stylish, creative afternoon for the students? What a start. Malone, the golden boot. Take that.
Oh, yeah, that's a super kick. Great confidence from that. Well, it's the sort of start you would have expected from the mighty Wicks. Set piece, backline play, just fabulous. That's a good ball. That is perfect too. Carter on the boil. Big gap. You don't see that often in the modern game. Offset phase. Superbly executed.
Well, that's what the coaches have talked about. The ability to take advantage of possession from set plays. And it's all with University at the moment as Malone plugs the touchline accurately.
It is important to note, Jim, that they do have quite a good breeze in their favour in the first half, University. So they'll be trying to play as much field position as they can.
There it is. Have a go. He's caught it. It's off, it's off, it's off. Play on, he's right. Still going, still going.
It's a good roll. It really is.
Still
This is
going, back you go.
one of Randwick's strengths. A rolling maul. It's gobbling up the yards here. They've gone a good 20-25. Whitaker's the one who can snipe his way through after that roll. And this is another fellow who can make a mess of him. Warwick War. Crash and Hassanine. Great versatility from Willie Gordon and Warner. Defence in on him too. Another delivery. Williams in there. Williams elusive. Collared over the top by Vickerman. Carl Murray over. Holbeck dumped on the 22. Now Randwick again. Warwick War. A good surge by Randwick. Tremendous continuity. Whitaker now with Warner. The pass just went astray, but he was playing the advantage.
The intentional knock on.
Good advantage played there by referee Eriksson.
And this just might be a shot at
Touch
goal
judge, guys,
for...
please. Touch judge.
Well, good passage of play, wasn't it?
What's happening, mate?
They look good. They look good there. That's the tail end where it broke down and we came back for the penalty. Forwards and backs together. Good control. First real time they've had the ball.
Thanks, Vinny.
They utilised the rolling maul pretty well. They're going to have to against this uni pack.
Pritchard's 10th game in first grade. Now, after having an earlier run in his career in Jersey Flegg Rugby League, he scored 167 points in the 9 games in first grade this year.
Wow.
Almost 20 points a match.
That's a strike rate. Also shows you what sort of form Randwick have been in.
Is he a nerveless kicker in a grand final? Looks good.
Yes,
Look
sir.
at that. It's darts.
They needed that after the shock start. They'd have been rocked by the early try, but they're back on the board. The big outswinger.
Your side, please. Your side of the white line, Chris.
That is a shocker.
So University making a rare mistake in the first part of the game. They've really been on heat after a great kick-off. And one of their stalwarts is on the sideline with Toby Lawson. He played in the 1962 grand final. That's when these two teams last met on the big occasion. And in fact, University won at 14-0, and Rupert Rosenblum scored a try. He's with Toby.
Yes, thanks, Jim. A lot of history between the two clubs. The last time they did meet was 1962, and Rupert, was your first game in first grade, I believe, was it?
I can't remember who got it. And I suddenly found myself on Friday morning playing in first grade. Great experience.
I'll just get you to put that up there on your lip like that. I think we're having a little bit of trouble, so I'm just going to swing you that mic here.
A Randwick line out.
Please, there's the mark. Keep going, keep going.
We'll get back to Rupert after this piece of play, which University careful well from the line out.
We got them all, It's them all.
What a good effort. University playing confidently. Carter's up there again. Whitaker doing the chase.
That's a good strong run.
Take a let it go, right form. Back feet.
From outside, he's 22. He knows it.
Too big.
And it is too big. It's a line out all the way back. So Rupert, just give us some idea of what happened back in '62 when these two famous old clubs met in the grand final.
Well, the first thing, Jim, was you must know that the Wallabies were in New Zealand and Randwick didn't have Ken Catchpole or Peter Johnson, which made our life a lot easier. It rained like hell on the sports ground. Randwick ran it in their own 22, dropped the ball. I fell on it, and it happened to be over the line, so I scored a try in the first game in first grade. I think I did kick a field goal a bit later in the game. But initially, it was we beat them because our forwards were too strong. And Randwick had a lot of players in New Zealand with the Wallabies.
Yes, well, the history is smiling on University and their big game occasions over Randwick. They won in 1939, and they also were ahead of them in the competition back in 1926. But it's been a long time as Warwick War has a charge. And Rupert, today's game, how even is it?
I think it's very even. University, I think, did terrifically well to score that first try, but we've made too many mistakes since then. And last year, I thought we lost on mistakes. We've got to keep the mistakes to a minimum and be positive in the forwards, and I think we'll win it. But at this stage, there's just a few too many mistakes and unforced errors, which is what we can't afford against a team as good as Randwick.
Well, Hickey won it at the back. Malone's clearance is a beauty.
If you hit that, it's a penalty. You can't charge the penalty.
He kicks like you, Rupert, doesn't he, Chris Malone?
Yeah, probably, Pappy, that's very nice of you to say so. I think he probably kicks it a bit further than I did.
White line, please.
He's a bit stronger than I was.
Your side of the white,
But
gentlemen.
that's how University got to play it. They've got to keep the mistakes to a minimum, play it out of their half. The Randwick goal kicker's a terrific goal kicker. Don't give them an opportunity to score 3 points.
Fryer took it forward from the line out. Now Jepson's hammered by the University defence. Advantage with Randwick. Fryer again. Great in the loose, Adam Fryer. Warwick War for another smasheroo. Whitaker off him. Not much going out there for Carl Murray, but Randwick keep going forward. Quick linkage. Exciting stuff on the edge, but Pritchard just goes into touch.
They have to be very watchful, particularly out wide. They can turn it on. Little half gaps, quick clearance of possession, and they can split you wide, as you can see here. Couple of quick passes. Hassan ain't involved. A lot of skill. Pritchard was out before Griffin took him out.
There's Malone's boot once more. Hasn't found it. Pritchard with Williams. Now Mr. Electric. Can he put the step on? He's done pretty well. Pritchard again.
Onside.
All the way back.
Have a break, boys. Have a break.
Next Saturday, it's GPS Rugby. The big game. St Joseph's and Kings from Hunters Hill.
Came down when Five placed the ball back. He's come down on him. Bit of an elbow and stuff around the head region. Penalty.
Penalty?
Just here on the 5.
Against number 1 green. Number 1 green, please, Captain.
Luke Mann being called out.
After the ball had been placed in that maul, you came down heavily with your forearm on the head of a player. Stay out of it, please. If the ball's placed, the ruck's formed, leave it. No, not interested in that. Leave it alone. It's a penalty against you. Thanks, mate.
Undisciplined play could be costly for either team today. That's not necessary. Malone will punish you with his boot.
And Stu Dickinson, touch judge on that side, picking up that illegal undisciplined play from Luke Mann, and the University back on halfway. They've made a wonderful start. They've just got to keep going from here. Well, they've got the possession this time through Hickey. And that's Mutton taking it over the halfway mark.
Back feet.
Another clean out and delivery from Malone. Where are the runners? Missed Inman. Deary tidies up well. Gordon had him. Phil Wall fast on the loose.
Let him go! Let him go! Let it go, Blue!
Turned it.
Randwick
Pulling the
ball.
ball away. Leave the ball alone. Leave the ball alone in the tackle. Leave the ball alone in the tackle. Let it go. You're off your feet.
They were
Using
outnumbered,
the
weren't
hands.
they?
It was great work by James Holbeck, who turned Michael Griffin in that, Brett, and turned him at, and then Uni tried to come in over the top under pressure, gave away the penalty. Now Randwick a chance to put the attack on.
The ball will come out, gentlemen. The ball will come out. White line.
It's the little things today that are going to win this for one of these teams.
They've won one each on the opponent's throw. Randwick win their own. Warner out there with the Lawson Donald, one of the power men. Again, the defence is very strong. Murray. Whitaker for the release. Pinkerton.
Lost forward, advantage Blue. And a little knock on. No advantage, Blue scrum from the throw forward.
Now it's starting to look threatening, using the back row. And Warwick War And you'll see Omar Hassanein turning up on those short passes.
Watch Warwick Moore here. He just runs through there. You could be a bit careful. They do. The defence there forced that one out of Pinkerton's arms, out of the grip. Sydney Uni, 21 kilos on their opponents.
Moving off the mark. Green moving off the mark.
Quick work.
That's a monster kick.
The bounces with Williams. So's Willie Gordon. But they've got him. Hinchelwood chasing with Luke Inman and company. That's very good work for Randwick. Warner, support play. Warwick War, the burrowing beast. Murray's little insider. Holbeck's right in the middle of the pile. Back near halfway come Randwick. Down a converted try in the first half of the grand final. Holbeck out there with the Warner pass, and again, not much shot for Williams there. And they've lost it. Anxious to keep it alive. A turnover for University. Malone as they come up quickly. Inman. This is Warner making the tackle. Good strong drive by Inman, though. Malone again. Carter's turned up. Look out. Carter on Williams. In the tackle. Oh, Griffin couldn't hold it. Desperate stuff for Randwick.
No advantage from the lost forward. 2 knock-ons.
Griffin really cranky with himself for spilling that ball. Carter was so strong as he stood in the tackle, and it was almost a try.
Ed Carter. He's putting his foot down today. Gapped them again. He had some choices here, and he took on Brendan Williams. Held it up long enough. Griffin couldn't hang on.
Yeah, just having another look at this one. Great run again from Carter. He's proving elusive this afternoon. I thought he may have offloaded a little bit earlier. Don't get a great shot of that, but Griffin was probably marked up the whole time. So almost another great University try.
Well, the last time we saw him play as spectacularly as this, as we look at David Fitter's Phil Tyler was against Eastwood, when he scored 3 tries at University. And then he had a problem with the judiciary. They gave him a couple of weeks off in a following match for an undisciplined moment. And he did look a little tentative at times last week, but today he's come up into the line at pace and has looked dynamic in attack.
Well, they're using him wide too. He's a big boy. It's a good scrum too. Good University scrum.
Yes.
Holding on, green man. Isolated, holding on. Isolated, holding on.
It goes back to this, doesn't it? Great shove.
Yep.
They put the weight on here.
There was no isolation.
It was going backwards. Donald was on his own. Uni man there on his feet, trying to play the ball. Donald isolated. Can't afford those in your 22.
So we've gone 15 minutes in the grand final. This is the 5th penalty. And it's the first opportunity for Chris Malone from a penalty to add some points. Isn't she colourful?
Well, we've seen Randwick start a few games this season reasonably slowly. And they often have taken 60 minutes or so to express their superiority. So it's not unusual for them to perhaps slip behind and look a little scratchy. But I tell you, they play the 80 minutes.
This should go over.
Geez, hit them well these last couple of matches.
It's a long while since he missed a kick. And that boot could be the difference this afternoon. But you'll recall what happened last week. University led 25-12 and very nearly lost it in the last seconds. The crowd over 10,000 here today. Could be the swan song footy game out here at Waratah Rugby Stadium. Whoops. Out of my way, Jason Deary. Malone hasn't found it. An awkward one for Williams, and they're through on him, but with no advantage now, he'll come back for the knock-on. Well, that worked out pretty well for University, because Deary almost got in the way of Malone's attempt to gather, then kick. And Williams committed himself.
Crouch and hold.
Couldn't take it.
Engage.
Yeah, it's one of those fullbacks' nightmare, that one. You've almost got to attempt to take that on the full.
There's
Look at
a
the scrum.
tight head to Uni, going backwards though. To Randwick rather, going backwards. But Uni have come up with it, and Lyons has a belt. Tidied up by Deary. And the support play with Vickerman there. Uni rolling well, stumbles Malone into Mutton. Set it up again. Someone else take it forward. Malone and Carter.
Thump.
Got absolutely nailed. Still with the striped men. There's a green line of defence. Try the short side. Stumbles backing up. And it went forward.
In the tackle, in 5.
Round of applause. Scotty Stumbles. He weighed up his options for a while. It was sitting there. And like a flash, he's picked it up, darted left, drew the man, picked up the winger, and they picked up 20 metres. Look at this. 1-on-1. Sorry, 2-on-1.
Make sure you buy. Okay.
Luke Inman. Back inside, Stumbles supporting. Ball trickle forward in the tackle.
It was a good hit from his opposite number there, Chris Whittaker. But yeah, says Stumble's signature moves are those sniping raids. He's got plenty of pace around the base, a lovely pass as well. But he's up against probably the form halfback running around at the moment in club rugby, and Chris Whittaker, whose options at the base are great in attack, but it's his defensive work covering all over the paddock, which is a highlight.
Again, Uni drive at the scrum and make life very difficult for Randwick. They've got the ball, but not nearly as cleanly or as confidently in the scrum as they'd want. Warner trying to run it out for them. And eventually, with Fryer having another go, someone will ping the touchline. Murray with Pinkerton.
Pat now, get away, tackler. Back feet, he did release, play on.
Whittaker and Donald.
Rock form.
Quickly once more.
Play on.
Hassanine. Well, Uni keep knocking them over.
Play on. Get away, tackler.
What now? Warwick War.
Play on.
And a good dispatch with Fryer in support.
Play now. Back feet.
Hassanine.
Off your feet. Off your feet. Stay on your feet, please, Blue.
It's a good passage of Randwick play.
With the touch,
First
that's it,
left.
thank you.
Shifted it back right. Hassanine involved, War involved. They do some damage around the fringes.
Yeah, they're both playing extremely well. Randwick don't want to kick the ball away to University, given the breeze in the first half and given Malone's kicking game, giving them territory. Hold on to possession, grind it out, and that's what they're doing.
Well, Warner's run it 6 times. Malone hasn't run it once, other than that early set piece when he fired the pass that set the try up. Oh, the crumb's not quite going
15.
to University.
10.
That's Luke Mann down to the 22. Randwick keeping it in hand.
Play on.
Continuity of play. Warner with Carl Murray.
Play now.
Warner on his own. Oh, Hassanine, he's got good hands, that fella. Pinkerton. Here comes the rush through the forwards. They're rolling with Donald. 4 metres out. Warwick War. What a charge. Here comes that green machine. Very close and over. They've got the try.
I think that's Adam Fryer. He's the only bloke who can get that low to the ground.
Adam Fryer,
Yep.
There he is at the bottom of that little low drive off the edge of a ruck. Randwick are just so good at scoring through their forwards. The continuity of play here. Watch the hands as Christian Warner keeps it alive. Hassanine, didn't he pick it up well? Support in there with Pinkerton. Lawson Donald steaming into it. Then you'll see Warwick Wall loom up. They're getting pretty close at this point. And now, right off the fringe of it, there he is. Fryer picks up and goes about 4 inches off the ground to score.
There was an advantage being played for Randwick here. I thought Wall was over. Didn't think they could stop him. But this bloke, Adam Fryer, wonderful hooker forward, plays terrific tight stuff. And body height will get him over. They're back in it. Well and truly back in it.
Here's the finishing touches. As you said, burrowed low to the ground. Adam Fryer, fantastic hooker. But it goes back to just the control and the work of their tight forwards, particularly War and Hassanine this afternoon. They've got Randwick really firing.
War going for the ball there. Still with the green men. Warner. This is where University have to number up all the time. Hassanine, look out. Great run by Hassanine. He slipped at Carter. Still Randwick. There's Whitaker.
Let him go, tackler.
Luke Mann.
Back feed, please. Blue.
Matt Bowman on the bottom of the pile, and again it's Randwick who just drive and drive and drive. Here's Warner with Pinkerton out wide, very strong at the moment the tackle arrives, trying to brush him off. Hassanine again. No, he's got good hands. Must have been a basketballer.
He looks it, doesn't he?
Moves beautifully.
Yeah, great athlete.
Here we go. Murray, Pinkerton. Oh, what a dump by Deary, but they've still got it alive. Oh, Murray. Murray with support play. Phil Wall. Oh, doing a good job for Uni. They really did need to get a turnover or something on Randwick, who were very, very ominous in possession. Get out of here. Not far.
Well, they're under the hammer.
How quickly the tide turns.
Ruckenmore, look at that. Randwick. Dominant.
Well, Randwick is starting to play the game they enjoy. Those rolling mauls, they're powerful forwards, wonderful control of the ball. And it's a treat to watch them play like this, particularly as Toby mentioned there, Hassanine with Warwick War, such dangerous players.
Let's go, guys.
And University are going to do well to get the ball if Randwick just decide to keep it in hand every time they get a whiff of possession.
And they play their big men out in the backs. You see Pinkerton a couple of times, Hassanine.
I was about to mention that. Yeah, Pinkerton's played a lot out there.
And they only need half a break out there after a few phases with their big men. And the little speedy guys will carve them up. Going to be very, very careful.
Fryer at the Randwick line out. Warwick War. Now, here comes the roll. They've got it on the deck. Now with Warner. Not with Warner. No mistake.
No advantage from the lost forward. Blue scrum.
Oh, Christian Warner. He'll forget that. I think he just took his eyes off it.
Wait, please. Bring it up. Crouch and hold. Settle. Engage.
Uni, I think, will want to play the scrum.
Stand up, please.
As many as they can.
Chase your feet, mate. Chase away. Let's go on, sir. Blood everywhere, mate.
So we're going to have a blood bin. Rupert Rosenbloom sitting in with Toby Lawson on the sideline. Wonderful start by Sydney University.
Jim,
I think
hit
Rupert
back.
might have left us.
Oh, Rupert's gone up into the
Yes,
stand.
He couldn't stand the tension down here on the sideline, Jim. He's decided to go back with these various other cohorts.
Well, I think they're probably having quite a reunion today.
Let's go, Greenies.
Probably having quite a glass of red, Rup.
Yeah, they're very much appreciative of him coming and joining us, particularly his involvement with the university. It's very hard on grand final day to keep calm, but he's done a great job, as he did when he played 5/8 for university.
Stand up, guys, please.
Well, Randwick are looking good.
Shoulder out. Wait, please. No, crouch and hold.
Certainly dominating possession.
Collapsing. Collapsing, Green. Far side, collapsing.
Well, I'm no expert, but I thought that was university attempting the big shove, and their feet slipped from under them.
Let's have the penalty.
Definitely a relief the university needed, though, Brett, because they've been under the hammer, as you said, last 5 or so minutes. And they need the field position, grind their way back into attack.
Slipping and body angle. At the back, please, Green.
This is one area where they must keep securing their ball, which they've done. With stumbles on Malone, the wide one. Luke Inman. There's Griffin. Carter was around.
Gee, that's good play off the set piece.
The loose forwards lining up there to try and smash it through. Short side, Griffin. The slow, high pass, he picked off easily by Murray. David Lyons.
Ruck four, back feet.
Hands off Green. Hickey, Mutton.
They've lost that.
Randwick have got it in the Adam. Fryer was there. Fryer was there. All right, it's gone back to Uni. With Malone. Phil Warp.
Back feet. Lost forward, advantage Green.
Look out.
Here comes the advantage. He ran into him.
Advantage to Green. Scrum.
Michael Bryle and Wayne Erickson revisited from last week, and that little accident.
Oh, dear. Get out of the way, ref.
Let's go.
He knocked it forward. Randwick picked it up.
Wait for the crouch and hold. Engage.
He's thrown it at Gus Erickson.
That's a solid Randwick unit with Williams. Pritchard one-on-one with Griffin. Was he impeded? Another boot on it. Look out. Pritchard's busy. Here come the Randwick men on Malone. Now he doesn't want to get isolated with the ball.
Back feet. No, he didn't. He's in the tackle. Blue hands.
That was always the risk.
Blue hands.
It was momentum, wasn't it?
Blue hands.
A couple of Randwick players really did come charging in there. It looked like to me that they leapt their feet and went over the ball. But that's the counter that Randwick are capable of. Pritchard did a fantastic job. No room at all. Watch this. On the touchline. Oh, soccer skills. And they're on the rampage here. Malone, in fact, did well. He held his feet for that little half second. He's got a mate there, but look at the momentum Randwick have built up there. Attacking team ball. Could have gone perhaps either way, that.
Yes, normally goes with the attacking team if there's any evidence of the defending side cutting off the ball.
And so it should too.
So Pritchard, Mr. Golden Boots from Coogee. $172 points for Randwick in his 10th first grade match.
Only just missed that. Wasn't his best strike. Low and left.
22.
Lawson Donald ensuring the green possession.
Still going, still going.
And he's trying to brew up a bit more of that Myrtle mayhem. Roll it, roll it.
Still going.
That was with Murray up on the line and Holbeck. Holbeck just as strong, and the pass went the wrong way. Well, University can grind it back or kick it. Using Lyons this time. Keep it in hand. Drive it on. Mutton.
Good charge.
There's Malone. Maybe he should have got rid of it.
Warwick War, you don't need running at you in defence.
No advantage from the blue lost forward.
Ooh, Warwick War.
Just a little bit of hesitation there from Malone, and Warwick War picked him off.
Here it is, guys.
Jimmy was looking for an inside runner. There weren't any there. That half moment of hesitation, Warwick War just lined him up, poleaxed him.
Engage. Steady. No shove yet.
They can't be giving Randwick the ball inside their own half.
Try a piece. The scrum's almost through 90. That was a risk as it wheeled around that Whittaker would get sandwiched. Hassanine delivers it for Warner. Just in the University half. Fryer's there, busy again. And he's lost it. Play on to Hassanine. And a try to the post to Williams. Williams scores the try. Whoopee! Well, that was very interesting because it looked like the ball had gone forward, but it must have been knocked out by a defender. As Randwick made the break, they got up over the game line, and once they were over it, Hassanine, gee, he's hard to handle. He's a tremendous player. Watch this. Adam Fry had the ball. It looked like it was forced out of his hands, knocked back by Uni, and Hassanine split them, cut them. And Williams, well, that's it. Good night. What a Randwick try.
Good decision here. Was knocked forward. That's a uni hand. Brendan Cannon. It's gone forward. He is a hell of a footballer in the making, Hassanine. And Brendan Williams, well, he pops up everywhere. And when he does, generally, it's danger. Looking good, aren't they? The Galloping Greens. I have to say, on the back of their big men they're using around the fringes and out wide, really are doing some damage.
Oh, yeah, fantastic try. Came from a little bit of an error up there from University tapping the ball out, but Hassanine, he has been outstanding today. And Brendan Williams only give him half a sniff and he's away. Look at the whippet go. Under the posts and the wicks. Well, they've turned it right around here. Great finishing from Williams.
A ricochet on the kickoff. Uni almost getting an opportunity there as the ball was cannoning left and right. And had another boot gone on the ball in the right direction. Deary and company might have been able to swarm in for a lucky bounce.
No locks.
Well, it's Warwick War from the restart. Took it on the fly and they flung it wide.
Engage.
Really cost them a try. University must capitalise here on their little bit of good fortune.
Behind the ball, scrum half.
The set piece with Malone, the cutout with Inman trying to get on the outside. Carter came up on his inside. Phil Waugh.
Let him go. Let him go now. Back feet.
That's very good work. Stumbles on the edge.
Let him go. Let him go.
Trying to keep the play flowing. 5 out from the line. Uni very close to it. What's happening there with the knock on? Right on the line. Randwick were the ones who knocked it on, and they'll have a scrum.
Oh, this is danger time here for the Randwick forward pack. University scrum, a potent weapon. Close. 10 times the Greens have turned it over.
Wait, please. No, nothing yet. Bring it up, please, Blue. Crouch and hold only. No second. No, listen. Engage. Steady. Steady.
Lyons.
Let him go.
Stumbles with Griffin. They've got to keep it going.
Rock form. Back feet. There it is. There it is.
And it is turned over. And Whittaker, as he found the touch, that'll do. So that wasn't good control from Sydney University. They're in such a good position. A try would have been ideal at that point of the game. Coming up to half-time, they just could not keep control of the ball. Well done, Randwick, to get out of it.
Pat on the back for the Randwick forward pack there. Good scrum.
Yeah, that was the scrum that turned it around. Pressure was on them. They responded.
Still go, it's off now. Letting go, Green.
Peeling through the ruck and more ball, and with Malone's cut out. Good tackle there with Henshawood down at Murray's feet.
You didn't get it, bad luck.
Lyons is in there.
Green man sliding over. Green man straight over, killing the ball.
One of those men from outer space. The green man.
Yeah, well, with the breakdown here, Holbeck's in there, and he's just rolled it over on the University side. Perhaps not his fault. Well, perhaps nothing he could do about it anyhow.
Thank you.
But it was enough. And Malone here with a shot.
Thanks, mate.
And the way he's hitting them, I think I know where my money would be. You've got to love the University ball girl.
Matt Dwyer, Justin Dwyer from City University, his daughter out there doing the handiwork for Malone. Randwick going into this game pronounced favourites on Sports Tab. $1.60 to City University's $2.20.
I thought it was going to be closer than that. Obviously, Randwick favourite with the punters.
Malone in front. Has it got the legs?
Yep.
Perfect.
I don't think he hit that as well as he normally does.
It looked like it was going to deflate before it got there.
He just didn't seem to knock that. Look at this. Perfect judgment. Oh.
From Daly, Lyons rams it back. Pinkerton went in and drove him to the ground. Malone cut out play. Inman couldn't handle.
Oh, they were in some space too.
Thrown forward.
Just a fraction in front of him. Otherwise, they could have cut loose.
He threw out the left hand. Inman, but it wasn't enough. They had 3 on 1 out there if that pass had stuck.
Locks, please, Green. Crouch and hold. No. Engage. Steady. No shove. Steady. And now. Put it in.
Here's Warner.
Play it.
Randwick quick delivery. Hassanine.
Let him go. Let him go. He did. There it is. Good feet.
Whitaker. Good tactics. Warner.
Play it now.
Short, sharp. Now Fryer.
Play it now, you hell.
Randwick on another productive role here. Jepson.
Let him go. Let him go.
Whitaker. Donald.
Let him go, Blue.
Whitaker again. Pinkerton. Crunched from behind by Daly. And Lyons. That's Warner.
Play it now. Back feet, Blue. Keep going back, Blue. Back, Blue. Back feet.
This is an awesome green machine here.
Yeah, this is dangerous, isn't it, for Uni?
Williams, the cutout ball, intercept and away. Can he go the distance? Williams is going to try and cut him down. And he has cut down Deary. Deary cut down, knocked it on. Carl Murray caught by Carter. Good chase by Williams. And Deary did not quite have the pace to get away from him.
I thought the Williams was the infringement there. I thought he knocked it. Look at that. They were in at the other end, Randwick, if the pass had got past Deary. Wonderful chase. He's got some pace, hasn't he? Look at the size difference. Oh. And it's spilt.
Crouch and hold. Engage.
Oh.
Steady. Come on.
Right on half-time with Warner. Murray.
Play it now. Play on.
Awesome Donald.
Back feet. Blue.
Tigerishly in the breakdown all the time. Warwick War
Play on. It went back. Play on.
It went back, yes. Still with the green men. No, it's not.
Let him go, Green.
Uni, we've got a show.
Hands out. Back feet, Green.
Malone.
Play on. They're onside.
And Inman.
Ruck there. Ruck's form.
Randwick have to be very careful here. No infringements.
Malone trying to get in behind them. Ricochet.
Ross forward by Green.
Oh.
Half time.
Jimmy Holbeck there, almost on the breakout. Malone went the chip kick. Ruled knocked forward. Potentially, well, 17-13.
2 tries to 1 in favour of Randwick after University had a thrilling start to the match with a converted try. And at the moment, Randwick looking like they might win their first premiership since 1996, but 40 minutes left, and Uni is certainly a show on their best play in this game, but they have turned over a bit of ball, and Randwick have looked pretty good when they've had that role of possession. They've looked magnificent on a couple of occasions with War and Hassanin. Haven't they been playing superbly?
Sure have. They have been the key. Randwick have certainly looked the better side.
So that's the scene at half-time. Last Monday night, there was a special event for the Ken Catchpole medal, and Toby Lawson catches up with the action on that glittering occasion.
Monday night saw the annual awards for the famous grouse coach of the year.
First of all, the runners-up.
And if he's not hyped today, he never will be. Look at him. He's intense. I think he'd get out there himself if he could.
He's a very calm man, Ross Reynolds.
Yeah, they're different, aren't they?
Very calm.
Well, they've got 40 minutes left, his team, to do it for him. Ross behind on the board.
Maxwell pouring out the passion. Can the University get over that in the second half? That's the first half details, and the ruck and maul advantage with Randwick, and they're ahead by 4 on the board.
Yes, they are. Lineouts pretty even. Both teams won one of the opposition's throws. Ruck and maul is where Randwick are demolishing the University. Their control of the ball has been superb. The linking between their big men and the backs has been wonderful. They haven't missed as many tackles. Turned the ball over a bit much, but possession's gone their way. Uni, in my opinion, have got it all to do.
Williams gets them underway. Someone stop the ball. Cannon's caught down in that far corner. A chance if he's turned.
Back you go, number 7.
University on the back foot in the first seconds of this second half as Malone looks for touch. Has he found it? Nope. Let's go again. Jepson and Williams.
Play it now. Get off him, tackler.
Just what Randwick want. Possession. Warner. And a good run too by Holbeck. Pritchard, and he scores! Another try to James Pritchard. University caught napping from the kickoff. A little bit of sluggishness, a kick that didn't find touch, and Randwick have really made them pay. And the scoring machine on the wing off James Holbeck. Look at this run here. Warner puts him through on the burst. He loses his boot on the way, but he didn't lose his footing, and the pass was slap on the chest of Pritchard.
Well, they have come out showing some of the passion of their coach. Great angle from Holbeck, lost his boot. That is a wonderful pass. Round the back in this clear. That is, doesn't he score some points, this fella?
We'll get Toby's report on the huddles in a moment. Whatever John Maxwell was going about, and you saw often not hearing everything he had to say, it's got them off to a rousing start. A deep kick-off, a little bit of flat-footedness from Uni, a slip by Cannon, a kick that didn't find touch, and bang, a try. And he'll probably convert it too. Oh, away again. He's missed 2. Toby down on the sideline.
Jim, I'd like to say that John Maxwell's words at halftime were exactly that. Score a try in the first couple of minutes, but he indeed was very passionate. You could see on the vision he wants the boys to fire up, and they certainly have done that. Uni, on the other hand, were calm, but they feel like giving Randwick far too much possession. They want to increase the tempo with the ball in attack. They'll fire here, Uni. They won't give up, but Randwick on top at the moment.
It's lost forward by Warwick War at the kick-off, so it'll be a University scrum.
Well, it was a better restart from Uni because when Randwick kicked off to start this second half, the communication was missing, the intensity was lacking, and they've had 5 points put on against them. But that was better. I'm not sure Warwick War knocked that on. I think the University hand had something to do with it.
Back feet. Play on.
Just like that.
Let him go, Green. Get away. Back feet.
From Cannon, it's Malone. Carter came up staggeringly, not rapidly.
He made the tackle.
Big scrum, let's go. Put some boots on him.
62. Wait, please. Wait for the crouch.
Another opportunity. They've got to use Ed Carter more. He's very damaging in that first 20 minutes. They need him some more.
Right shoulders, please. Push it round. Right shoulders. Get it square. Steady. 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 Back feet, Green.
Now with Malone and Hinshelwood, he's almost through, but Whitaker was drifting across to cut them off. Stumbles again. Holbeck knocked it down intentionally.
6 in on the side of the tackle.
No, well, he's got
Green,
Jepson.
On the side. 10 with a touch, judge, please, gentlemen. Keep going.
You've got to come in from behind your last player's feet. Jepson, the culprit. Malone has gone for touch there.
Well, Uni need a converted try to stay in sight of those gallopers.
Sure do.
Vickerman. Now the University drive. What can they do on the maul ball? Rolling it. Now they've got to play it off the deck. From the ruck, here comes Malone. Inman. There's a green blanket out there. They're up very flat at them. Uni weren't too deep in attack. Now that's more promising. Lyons, he can bust them. Fryer made the tackle. Doesn't he do a bit? Carter. Uni just patiently building. Stumbles almost. Had the fast feet. Right near the line. They're still bashing their way towards it.
They've lost the ball.
And it is turned over for Whitaker.
Oh, I think they needed something there, Uni.
Well, that's the second time we've seen in the last 10 minutes either side of half-time, Uni in a very good position, and Randwick come up with a ball.
White line, gentlemen, your side of the white. Come back, please, Green. Come back. At the back, please, number 1. Thank you.
Still in terrific position. Must get the line out.
Just call it. Give it tight to the front. Still on.
No problem there. Now, what can they do with it? Get him into the touch, but Malone's cut out balls with Inman. Hinshelwood's there. Another one for Carter. And the driving play in defence. And the ball has gone forward.
Advantage, Green.
Williams.
Nothing from there.
No, nothing from there. Let's have the scrum.
Gee, they were 60 metres downfield.
And they wouldn't have had the ball, I suppose.
That's true. They'd probably prefer the scrum.
Balls away. Balls away.
Well, Uni are trying to throw it wide.
Come up.
They had some success in the first half.
Steady, no shove. Stand up, boys.
They have to play well now.
Chase the weight, please, tight head. Weight, please. Crouch and hold. Engage. Steady. Come on.
Strong bits.
Right shoulders, right, get it steady. Steady. No shove, Green. Far side, blue.
Yeah, Mutton's the one who's penalised as Randwick tried to take advantage of the quick tap.
Let it come. Not 10.
Oh.
Not 10.
Well, they certainly took it quickly. It didn't give them much opportunity to retire. Didn't retire 10 that time, but Fryer's there. Randwick away again. Warner, good fingertip. Back to Warner off Holbeck. Here we go. Holbeck, one over the top. Carter made a good ball and all tackle there, but they've still got it alive. Hassanin, oh, good hands from him. Murray tossed a touch. Randwick desperate to keep it alive.
Lost forward by Green, no advantage, blue scrum in 5.
They may have lost it forward, but the execution was within a half-inch of being another try.
Yeah, they look good, don't they, Randwick? Ball in hand, backs and forwards. They've got all the skills.
Locks, please.
Every time you see Omar Hassanin turn up in broken play, something's going to happen.
He's a wonderful player, isn't he? He's not far from Super 12. Look at the Randwick scrum. Oh.
Around past 90, green ball.
Uni scrum's really slacking. They dominant early.
They lost concentration, I think.
Don't know what it is.
In 5.
You've got to switch on today. It's a different ball game on grand final day. They learnt that last year.
Please, locks. Crouch and hold.
They don't want to learn it again today.
Yeah, well, Mutton became Lamb last year. I think he's a bit tougher this time.
He did. Rush ball.
Here we go with the green men. Whitaker, elusive. Oh, look at this.
Play now. Back feed, blue.
Moment taking it forward. Whitaker again. Here's Donald.
Tackle. There it is. Advantage hands.
Williams. Oh, look out. Bye, 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 bye. Under the post, his second try. He's a class act. They just left them breathless, gasping, gaping, fractured hopelessly in his wake.
Well, they love him at Coogee, don't they? And they love him in Italy too. Watch this. Moved in. First pass off the ruck. Dummy, dummy. Come on, boys. You can do better than that in defence, especially against the Brendan Williams.
I've got to say, he is an outstanding game, and I look back to their forward pack providing the platform. They turned the scrum ball over. They've pressured Uni. They've splintered them up the centre. And the defensive lapse is starting to emerge as players get a little bit tired. And Williams, he has that individual skill to just duck through the smallest of gaps. Great try.
He can catch you flat-footed, can't he?
It's all for the students now. This will be a real test of their character, Brett and Jim. Have they got enough skill? They've certainly got enough heart.
Well, how straightforward was it? Just held the ball, saw half a gap, and he was gone.
Yep.
Let's go.
That's why Randwick so often win the big games. They've got the class players to score the points. And John Maxwell, the driving force behind the resurgence down at Coogee. They didn't get to the semi-finals last year. Now they're back with a vengeance. Quite a few young players around a couple of hard heads like Warwick War.
Onside, play on.
Warner trying to get behind Carter. Does well.
Super take.
Willie Gordon couldn't get him. Carter. Uni on the comeback trail here. Covered up.
Touch.
What about the take? Had a good game. Interesting there, Warner kicked. Haven't seen him do that today. Perhaps 16 points is enough in his mind, and he's going to play it down Uni's end. Perhaps not now after seeing Carter run it back.
Warwick Ward secures the possession. The driving, rolling maul again for Randwick.
Still going, still going, still going. Let it come now.
Warner.
Onside, play on.
There's a bit of refereeing going on from some of the players. Carter.
Offside in front. Yes, let's kick here, scrum back. Kick here.
Kick for touch. Take the line out.
Kick here or a scrum back there.
Take the touch line. Well, they've got to start something.
Gap, please, Green.
Vickerman. Right now, University's turn. Look at this, full war. Which way has he fallen? There it is. Still a go. They've got to score. They've got to score soon.
Back feet.
Stumbles him alone. Missed lines.
Yes, off Green.
It's all right. It was green hands. There was no knock on. Inman's down there.
Get away from him, Tap. Pulling the ball away. Green man.
Yeah,
Green
Warwick.
tackler.
Warwick War.
Advantage.
Quickly with Hickey.
Not 10.
They hadn't really retired. They're going to get another penalty if they don't get a try.
Oh!
Back for the penalty.
Not 10.
Did not retire.
Goal
Gee,
line.
Vickerman was in. Was it Vickerman? It was over.
Not 10.
They must take the 3 here, I would think. Gets them to within 2 converted tries. They're going to try the line out.
Going for the line out.
Whoa. They want the line out. They want control. Rolling maul.
White line, gentlemen.
And they're putting their money on a try here, Uni. They had 3 points.
Green, goal.
It was a gimme.
So a tester for the Randwick defence. Vickerman takes it. Here it comes. Roll. Phil Waugh might be around this. Try and split.
Still going.
It's looking promising. They've got to keep it moving now.
They've pulled it down, have they not?
Randwick have got it down. And legally from the look of it, Lions!
Play now. Get away. In off the side. In on the side. Offside again.
Oh,
They've knocked on, but what's he going to rule over here? Back for the penalty once more.
oh, they had to try. That's unbelievable there. The ball
5
went
metres. 5 metres.
straight through his hands. I think Chris Malone.
There, goal line.
Now, Uni, they must score here, surely. That's Vickerman! Oh, good arrest. Warner with some help.
There it is. It's not a maul. It's a ruck. Back feet.
Malone. In middle score. He's over. At last, Uni have got over the line. They had about half a dozen attempts. They kept coming up with mistakes, but fortunately Randwick had kept infringing. So Uni stay in the battle for the shoot shield. Here it comes. After any number of attacks down here, they got Inman into a slot, and he was able to make it.
Well, they had the try a minute ago on the left, but they got the penalty instead. That's good angles from Inman. Good, strong young runner.
Oh, Brett, they needed that. It was desperation stakes to not come away with a try after that many attacking raids, and that many opportunities would have been game over. But now, potential 7 points puts them right back in the contest. Randwick can't go to sleep. They haven't won it yet.
No, it's far from over, but Uni have to realise they need to get straight back down there. They've got to fire up.
Malone hasn't missed today.
Okay. It's a good pass here. Flat pass, good angle. Just not enough cover. Fryer and Holbeck did their best.
Williams restarts deep. Daly. Pinkerton, ball and all. Hinchelwood with Malone, and their loopy one. Carter drops it. And was it knocked on by Pritchard? Yes.
Two knock-ons.
Yes,
No
first
advantage.
knock on is
Green
Carter.
scrum.
Oh, dear.
Too many errors, too many mistakes.
They've made a lot of mistakes.
It's almost white line fever, some of this. They're not
Balls away.
concentrating.
Balls away. No, not yet. Not yet. Crouch
They
and
wouldn't
hold.
make this many
Engage.
mistakes in
Steady.
2 games normally.
Steady.
Simple stuff.
Shoulders
Knock-ons,
up.
drop ball.
Well held, Donald and Whittaker. Now this is where Uni have got to have their wits about them. Randwick will put another try on them. Warwick a war.
We got them all, we got them all.
There's Fryer.
Play it now. Let it go. Ruck form.
He's the underground man. Fryer. Whitaker.
Play it now.
Another little sniper. Warner.
Play it now. Let it go, Green. Let it go.
Just patiently taking the ball ahead. A little left, a little right, a bit in the middle, and they...
Green man.
Oh, well.
Penalty. Let it go. Too long. Let it go. Back feet.
Okay. Uni, you've got to get back. They've got to score next. That's when Randwick are most dangerous, when they've had a try scored against them.
White line,
Chris
please.
Malone, can he build them up?
Play on.
Malone's ball with Lyons.
Play it now.
Phil Waugh,
Let it go, Green. Let it go.
always prominent.
Back feet.
Whoops, another knock on. Oh, can't afford that.
No, it's unheard of.
Back feet, please.
It was Griffin that time, he put it down.
Yeah, right.
Randwick will be quite happy about it. Yeah, just keep going forward. They've had a little squeeze over there.
No advantage. Bring it back, please.
Just
Green.
squeezed forward. Stripe scrum.
Oh, well. They'll be disappointed with the simple errors, University.
No? Is he right? He's right. Thanks. Let's go.
Jimmy Holbeck there.
Let's go, Blueies. He's right.
Screwed his teeth, get back into position.
Let's go. Wait for the locks, please. Wait for the locks. Nothing
University's
yet.
rep players have to lift now.
Crouch and hold.
Might be young, but it's the likes of Warren Lyons that are going to lift them with some brilliance.
Good shove by Uni on Randwick. Donald going backwards.
Advantage blue. Let it go, Green. Let it go, Green. In offside.
That's good work by Uni. Now capitalise on it. Hinshaw Wood. Malone's inside ball was forward, but they're
No
offside.
advantage thrown forward. In offside, Green player. In offside.
Well. Oh, well, great scrum. That was the key. And Chris Malone threw that forward. I think that's why Gus Erickson has pulled it back. Malone will kick deep, or as deep as he can, or as deep as he dare. Now.
The crowd starting to rev up the students here. Quite a good amount of support for University this afternoon. And they're right in front of the major part of their support base. So, line-out win important to Vickerman.
So 8 of Uni's 11 penalties coming from ruck and roll, the breakdown. There's Phil Waugh. The old wrestle's going on here. Uni in an excellent something. And they got the penalty.
Oh, I think you take the 3 now, don't you? You're 9 down.
He's going to go for the line out.
I think so, yeah. He gave up the earlier one. There's Hassanein there, standing there. Oops. He couldn't help himself. Come on.
Christian, keep them 10, mate. Keep them 10. Keep them on the goal line.
Okay. We have got a real ball game.
Caught it. Stay there.
Vickerman. Now Uni
Yeah, right.
to try and drive it. They're doing pretty well around the front of that line out. Fitter hovers.
Offside.
Stumbles with Malone. Lyons.
They're offside.
Inman there.
We're offside. Number 12 offside.
Daly. Stumbles. Phil Waugh's ball on the edge. Cannon! A cannon shot in the corner. Cannon scores for Uni.
Oh. Well, great character to come back when I thought Randwick were perhaps out of sight. Oh, we have a ball game and the pressure's on Malone here now from the touchline.
Here it comes. Uni just kept taking it to the game line and then stumbles quickly away on the right. They had the overlap there. Wall's good pass, and Brendan Cannon shot over in the corner.
Well, it was the big overlap, wasn't it? They had 4-on-1 out wide. All forwards too, but he does enough. They're not going to stop him. Although Whittaker and Murray.
Brett, I thought they'd blown it again. Great pass from Stumbles. I thought this pass may go to deck, and Miss Mutton found Cannon. His body height got him over. Wow. Now how important is this conversion attempt for Chris Malone?
Very. Would get them within 2. Then it really is anyone's.
They've come back from 29-13. Looks useful. Oh, what a goal!
How cool is he? How cool is he?
He hasn't missed with his last 13 shots at goal in the last 2 weeks. Look at this.
That's perfect. Just perfect. They'll be pumped now.
Back for Green.
Do or die.
Number 7.
Malone again using the battering ram out in the back line. The lines linking up. Deary.
Play now, let it go, Blue.
They've turned it over.
Now, Randwick have got possession they haven't had for a while. Donald went forward.
Let off.
Yeah, a couple of mistakes creeping into the Greens game. Momentum definitely with the students, although Randwick can counter at any stage.
Oh, this is when it all counts, isn't it?
Oh, it's great grand finals, real tension.
They've trained 4 or 5 times a week all season.
Engage. Steady.
It's a little forward pass, that's it. Oh, well spotted.
Lyons from the back. Pinkerton
Stay now.
drags him.
Inside.
Malone getting past Williams.
No.
Not quite. Oh, razzle-dazzle man. And good support play from Holbeck.
He's got the ball.
They're trying to get him out, but Randwick keeping their feet, keeping control.
That's fabulous play, the Greens.
With Warner. Murray.
Yeah, penalty. Penalty. Get out of his way.
Jepson in the obstruction.
Crossing, number 6.
Watch Chris Malone. That's better. He might think twice about kicking to Brendan Williams. He gets, here's the move. The pass wide and the back rower there in front running obstruction. Playing gridiron.
Wickerman again. Uni had some possession. And look at Phil Waugh. Great comeback. Now with Malone. Hinshelwood, Malone who went loose. Still a chance. Need another calm build-up here, and then take your chance. That's Hickey.
Lost forward, advantage Green.
Oh, turnover.
Lost forward in the tackle by Blue. Green scrum. Not so.
Great defence from Randwick.
Green scrum. 62. Box, please.
16 each.
Nothing yet. Settle.
On the turnover.
Crouch and hold. Engage. Steady. Come on, Wicks. Come on, Wicks. Come on, Wicks.
Uni got a good shove on them.
Straight to the deck. Green. Scrum collapsed. Green.
Sure did.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Uni were going to trample over the Randwick pack.
Blocks. No, nothing yet. Crouch and hold. Sorry. Engage. Stand up. Go again. Come on, Adam. Pop it out, please.
I just
Mr.
heard
Bynes, pop it out,
Stewie
please.
Dickinson's
Wait for
having
the
a
crowd.
word to
Locks it
Gus
out.
Ericsson about
Locks it out.
Uni loose head and Randwick tight head side, which he can't see. So if this goes down again, I'd imagine there'll be a decision.
Mutton and Bowman.
Is it Mutton rolling him, is it? Just rolling the shoulder.
Whitaker, Williams, look out, a chance for Uni now. They swarm in for the possession. This is good stuff from Uni. There's Malone's ball. Hinshelwood for the posts. Oh, desperate defence by Randwick and Brendan Williams at the back.
Must score, they've got to control it.
There's an advantage here.
There'll be a penalty.
It has to be professional. It has got to be.
Stuart.
Where's the bin?
Near the goal line, that's another professional foul. Next one goes to the bin. Okay? Posts.
Oh, well, Randwick are very fortunate there. That could easily have been a try near the post.
They had huge numbers left, Uni, and if they'd have got clean possession from the breakdown, you'd have almost backed them in. And they get away with, they prevent 7 and get 3.
Well, they'll certainly get 3, but it'll give Randwick just a little bit of breathing space at a critical point. And fortunate, given the spate of penalties against them when Uni were last down here, that he wasn't applying the bin there and then.
Geez, I've seen the bin used for less. What a comeback. What a comeback. You've got to be proud of them. Randwick were potentially out of sight.
When Williams scored that try,
they were going to win by 30, weren't they?
It was 16 ahead. And now Uni are in the lead.
Oh, what a match. What a fitting match to finalise Premiers year 2000. Look at these lunatics from Uni. Well, that's an absolute gimme.
15 points from the boot of Malone. 3 penalties, 3 conversions. Uni back in front. So hold on for the ride in the last 10 minutes of the game. Malone with Hinshelwood and Lyons out there doing his business. Left footer from Malone. It'll wobble away.
Super kick. He was on the 22. It would have come back for the Randwick line out if it had gone out on the 4. Have Randwick got anything left?
Oh, yeah, they've got plenty left. They'll play the full 80, Brett.
Not straight.
Oh, scrum, no mistake. Oh, Randwick have got plenty left. They just need some ball. They just haven't had it for a little bit.
They haven't had it for about 15.
Wait, please. No locks yet. Crouch and hold. No. Engage. Steady. Steady. No sharp.
What a classic grand final.
There's great pressure, great tension here. Both sides willing participants here this afternoon.
Offside green. Unbound.
Uni going to get a penalty.
Wow, they're a bit lucky.
Green not bound.
They're a bit lucky. It was a sleepy University scrum.
Yeah, I can't seem to work out the scrum this afternoon. Neither side have dominated on their own ball. The defensive scrums have been excellent from both teams, and must be a lack of concentration or a good hit because both sides have had their chances in the scrum.
21 captains in the bin, mate.
It's a great kick here.
Well, he's led them superbly, hasn't he?
Now here's a great opportunity for University again.
To the back, please.
Vickerman. Peerless at the line out. Here's the roll. They keep rolling it. Phil Waugh inside ball. Oh, what about that tackle? It's a green scrum, but Phil Waugh very nearly sneaked away to set up a try.
He's lifted. He has lifted.
Watch this. Watch him come around here.
Where's he gone? There he is. Oh, gee, they had numbers too. If he'd been able to hang on, I think Stumbles was the man.
Good shot by Uni. Awkward ball. Warner taking it away for Green. Murray. Holbeck. Hassanine.
He's a freak.
How did he keep control of that?
Oh, they're going. Oh,
Well.
you'd have almost.
Well, things really 50-50s aren't going the Wick's way.
It does. Number 9 straight in off their feet.
It wasn't hanging on to it. Look at the hands. He is unbelievable. Omar. It was that man there, Whitaker, was it?
Whitaker, you're saying?
Off his feet.
Off his feet.
He can't play it. That's true.
Yep. And a chance to put the students 4 points clear. Oh, what an extraordinary comeback by Sydney University.
Time off.
Williams was almost doing a victory lap when he scored that try under the posts. It was so simple.
I just had a look at that penalty count graphic, 16-5. It's proving a critical part of the match against Randwick at the moment. Just haven't been able to get their hands on quality possession.
10 of the 16 from the old ruck and maul, the breakdown there.
Kieran Shepherd just running past me, warming up on the sideline.
This is a remarkable goal-kicking performance. Malone kicked 8 out of 8 last week, 6 out of 6 today, and this is about to be 7 out of 7. His 4th penalty goal.
Yeah, and I can't tell you what a performance that is under pressure. Under pressure, that's freaky. John Eales like. And they're not all that easy either. His last couple have been in front. But he's kicked some beauties.
Now it's up to Randwick to pull something out.
Well, 4 may not be enough.
We got them all. We got them all.
Randwick try to put them in the lead.
Get it out now.
Malone. Inman. Carter. Griffin. Tackle.
Play it now. Back feet. Hands advantage. Ruck's form. Hands.
Discipline,
Ruck form.
discipline,
Hands.
discipline.
Too many for Randwick.
Number 13. Hands. Ruck form.
They've got to get the ball. They have got to get the ball because they're dangerous enough. A bit of control, a few phases together.
Oh, yeah. Brett, if there's one side that can score at any time in the match, just with a bit of quality ball, it's Randwick. But they're just pushing it at the breakdown. They're just trying a little bit too hard to get possession back, and the referee's penalising for overzealousness.
Take a step, please, Green.
17-5, the penalty count to Uni. Bickerman's good, isn't he? The ACT Brumbies have got him next year. And look at this. 10, 15, upfield they go. Plenty of ball for Uni. Malone out there with Henshelwood. Lions coming in for the carving run. Clean out again and away with Malone. Here's Carter. Randwick desperate for possession.
Back feet.
Keep the ball in hand, Uni. Griffin, just keep going forward for the next 5 minutes. That's all you have to do to win the game. Oh, we got a penalty instead.
Well, of course you do.
Number 7, please.
That's
I
dumb.
think someone could go here.
That's dumb. Front rower too.
The last 4 penalties I've called very clearly ruck form. Your players continue to use their hands when the ruck's well, mate. The players continue to use their hands when the ruck's formed. I have no option but to play advantage and penalise. 10, let them know.
Oh,
He's going to take a shot.
He let him off.
Yeah, it was within a whisker of going to the bin. Randwick just desperate to try and get the ball.
The ruck is formed. Watch this. He'll go to ground. That's a ruck, right?
Yeah, and they're...
And you just, I mean, you can't play it.
Can't play it
and
on
there
the
he is.
ground.
He's in the wrong side. He's picked it up. I just...
Oh, you can hear from the sideline, Gus Erickson saying ruck ball, hands off. I think he must have said it 3 or 4 times. Admittedly, in the heat of battle, you don't hear those
Look at
things.
the ruck and maul evened up. They were getting belted at half-time, Uni. They've had all the ball. Although that penalty count is the telling one, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
That is a costly one for Randwick.
Well, particularly when you've got a radar boot like this man this afternoon.
He's
He
going
gets
for 8
this.
out of 8 again. If he kicks this, and this will just about nail the game if he can zip it over that black dot.
This is about it at his limit too, this one, I would think.
Bounced it off the crossbar again. Is it going to go to the right length? No, it didn't.
22.
Just slightly offline. The first miss for Malone in 16 kicks.
4.5 on the clock.
Stand by. Excitement. Uni will just want to control possession here, play the field position.
Here's Carter. Randwick. Phil War off Malone. Malone. Lions.
Straight down.
Tough penalty.
Stop there. Number 4 sealing. Number 4 sealing off. No chance for
Hickey,
the other team.
Drew Hickey penalised. Randwick
penalty.
at last getting a penalty.
There could be a sense of irony about this afternoon.
Let's hope not.
Great kick if it finds touch.
Don't know if it has.
It has.
It has.
Oh, this is.
Look out.
Here comes the galloping finish. Will this be it?
Look out.
Back, please.
Where's your money? This is tense.
Hassanin. Here comes the drive from Randwick.
Still going.
Little Adam Flyers in there somewhere.
Always.
We're going to have to play it. Keep it low. You can hear them going for the line. They got the try. Bowman scores the try. Matt Bowman. And Randwick, in the last minutes of the game, looked like they pulled the match out.
That is unbelievable.
Extraordinary stuff. They have not had hold of the football for about a quarter of an hour for more than a couple of seconds. And look at this. A splendid piece of rolling ball play. It comes through and it's Bowman who's got it. Bang! I've won the game. Smashing his way over.
Well, I think he has won that match. They were always a good chance, weren't they? From the Williams penalty kick and the rolling maul. What an effort. 5 tries they've scored, Randwick. And he could so easily have been in the grandstand watching too from his infringement.
There may be more drama. If he kicks this, it'll be 3 the difference. Could Malone come up with a field goal or a penalty goal in extra time? This will be a good kick.
Nailed it.
It is a good kick.
Oh. Oh, hello.
Haven't we seen some quality this afternoon?
3 in it. Last gasp opportunity for Uni to pull it out.
They've got to get the ball.
Or to get a draw, which means extra time. This is how they started the game. Willie Gordon. He's kicked it.
Kicked it.
Oh, no. Daly. Now University. They've got to go. Malone with Hinshelwood. Inside the last minute of the match. Malone. Carter. Randwick got to be so careful not to give a penalty away. They've got
a stump feed.
Use it or lose it, please.
Oh, use it or lose it. What a time for that to happen.
He's ruled them all. Collapse maul.
Dear.
Game over, yeah?
Yep, well, the decisions at the breakdown, so important.
What a match. What a match.
Well, all credit to Randwick. Not saying it's over right yet with 15 seconds left. It's been one of those games, but up against the penalty count they've had this afternoon, an extraordinary performance from the men in green.
Clock's right, less than 1 to go.
Less than 1 to go.
Wait, please, no loss, no loss.
Big scrum, University, here's your chance. Although Randwick, all they need is 1 good scrum. That's collapsed.
Again, please. Straight down. Look at his feet.
If the clock's right,
Please. I know.
Randwick
Wait, please.
should win the game.
Wait for the crouching hold. Engage. Steady.
Well,
Kick it out. That's all he's got to do. It's all over. And Randwick have won their 31st first-grade premiership. The club champions have scored a thrilling win here in the Shute Shield. Oh, what a way to win the game. A try, 2 minutes from full time to pull it out when it looked like University had come from the dead. They trailed 29-13. Hit the front, only to have the game snatched from under their nose by this very good Randwick side. What a game. You won't get many grand finals better than this one. It was a high-octane game. There were mistakes. You always expect mistakes in big matches. But we saw some magnificent tries, some superb control of the ball at times from Randwick, and a very courageous character-building comeback from the uni players who, just like Ben Daly, are shattered. And that again, they've got to a grand final and they haven't been able to go on and win the prize. Congratulations to both teams. It's been a wonderful effort.
well, take your hat off to them. They're never down, are they? What a match. Uni started at full pace and Randwick took them off.
Let's go down to Toby.
Thanks very much. Outstanding game of rugby, and you must be greatly thrilled. One of the great players of this afternoon, Omar Hassanein. Congratulations.
Thanks, Toby. Thanks, Toby. Unbelievable. Just the best feeling ever. Unbelievable.
You're almost speechless. I can understand that. It was a full 80-minute performance. You were down, University came back, and you put the final try in with a rolling maul. It just must be a great feeling to win a grand final with your teammates.
Oh, mate, it's fitting, I think, because they started to call us the 80-minute team this year because on a number of occasions we've gone right down to the wire. A couple of times against Warringah, and mate, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. We shouldn't have let them back, but we let them back and we just kept coming. We just kept coming. It's beautiful.
Congratulations. Go enjoy the celebration.
Thanks, Toby.
I'm moving straight across. It's excitement down here. Congratulations, Christian. Great game from yourself, but a great team effort for Randwick to win the premiership.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a very team-based club. You know, we sort of all get on well, and it's one of those things. You know, I'm sure that we'll celebrate tonight.
You and Chris Whittaker have a great combination. The forwards laid the platform, and then your backs yourself made some darting runs. Brendan Williams showed some real class. It was an outstanding performance, particularly when University made such a good comeback.
Yeah, they played very well in the second half. They starved us to the ball, but once our forwards get a roll on, and the likes of Willie Gordon and Brendan Williams out wide, we can cut loose. So it's it's been a great day.
Christian, it was an outstanding game of rugby. Congratulations on being the year 2000 premiers with Randwick.
Thanks, Toby. Thanks very much.
Here's the winning try. There was a penalty, a line-out, a well-controlled maul, and Bowman is the man that's come up with the five-pointer that secured the game for Randwick. Well, wasn't that a thriller?
What a way to end the season. A wonderful game. Clearly the best two teams, although, of course, these unfortunate last week. What a match.